Now that we know how to measure segments and angles, let's talk about adding those measures together. And we'll do it using these two postulates, the segment and angle addition postulates. The segment addition postulate says that if 3 points A, B, and C are collinear, and B is between A and C, like we have in our figure, then AB, this distance here, plus BC, this distance here, is going to equal AC, the whole distance. Imagine that. If you add two pieces of an object together, you get the whole object. And the angle addition postulate says that if point D is in the interior of angle EOF, like we have in our figure over there, then the measure of angle EOD plus the measure of angle DOF is going to equal the measure of angle EOF. Imagine that. So let's try this really quick. If WY is equal to 59, what are WX and XY? Remember that since there is no symbol above these letters, that we are talking about the distance between point W and point Y, the distance between point W and point X, so on and so forth. Using our segment addition postulate, we know that if we add the two segments WX and XY, we will get the entire segment. So now it's just a matter of plugging in some values. WX, we are told, is equal to 8x minus 14. And xy is 4x plus 1. And that is going to equal the 59 that we were told in our instructions. So now it's just a matter of doing some simple algebra. 12x minus 13 is going to equal 59. If we add 13 to both sides, we find out that 12x is going to equal 72. And if we divide both sides by 12, we find out that x is equal to 6. That's not too bad, but we're not done yet. We found that x is equal to 6, but we're asked to find the distance from W to x and the distance from x to y. So let's find those really quick. The distance from W to X is going to equal 8 times the 6 that we just found minus 14, which is going to equal 34. And the distance from X to Y, also known as just simply XY, is going to be 4 times our X that we found plus 1. And that is going to equal 25. So the distance from X to Y is 25. Now let's work with the angle addition postulate. We are told that the measure of angle RQT, the whole angle, is 155, and we're asked to find the individual angles, the measure of angle RQS and the measure of angle TQS. So the measure of RQS, 4x minus 20, plus the measure of angle TQS, is 3x plus 14, is going to equal the 155 degrees. So now we can quickly do our algebra. 7x minus 6 is going to equal 155 degrees. So 7x is going to equal 161 degrees by adding 6 to both sides. Now if we divide both sides by 7, we find out that x is equal to 23. But once again, we're not quite done yet. We just found out that x is 23 degrees, but we need to find the measure of our individual angles. So the measure of angle RQS is going to equal 4 times those 23 degrees that we found, minus our 20 degrees. And that is going to equal 72 degrees. And last but not least, the measure of angle TQS is going to equal 3 times the 23 degrees that we found, plus 14. And that is going to equal 83 degrees. Simple enough?